Learners, welcome to part 2 of Business Studies, paper 1 overview. We have done the other one, that is the legislation and the business strategies. Business sectors are part of paper 1. Then with paper 1, we need to know that question 2, it will be the business environment. Then let's check with the other topics, which is the human resource function, business operations. We were dealing with business environments. Now we are dealing with the human resource, which is under the business operations. Remember, we have only 2 topics under the business operations, which is this one, the human resource, and also the quality of performance. With the human resource, you must know that you need to know the human resource activities. The human resource activities, the first one is recruitment. With the recruitment, you must be able to explain the meaning of recruitment and also outline the recruitment procedure. Learners, when you do this one, it should follow the sequence. You need to guard a sequence because for your understanding, you must know where does recruitment start. You identify the job, that we need a job, meaning that we must be doing what is called the job analysis. You start with the job analysis, which you need to explain. You've explained the meaning of recruitment. You've outlined the recruitment procedure. Now, you proceed to the explanation of the job analysis. And with the job analysis, we all know that job analysis, you have the job description and also the job specifications, which are the components of the job analysis. Then when you come to the job description, you will be given maybe the scenarios where you need to identify the job specification and also the job description. When you do that one, be sure that you are able to differentiate between the job description and the job specification, because you cannot identify a concept if you can't also differentiate it. You must also be able to identify. Remember, the business will be recruiting. It's either it is recruiting from the external side or in the internal. With the internal, you need to know the methods of the internal recruitment. So with the methods of internal recruitment, you will be able to give examples, and also with the external, you must be able to give examples. And also when you are given the statements or the scenarios, you must be able to identify those. With regard to the impact, like the advantages or disadvantages, it means you need to know each of them. What are the advantages and disadvantages of the internal recruitment? What are the advantages of the external recruitment? And also you must give examples of the sources of a recruitment from the given scenarios, meaning that one is the recruitment as the first activity of the human resource function. Then the second activity, it will be your selection. Remember, you've decided that you will be using maybe the external or the internal, meaning that the recruitment has been done. We are waiting for the application to come. So what you will be doing selection. You must be able to outline the selection procedure. What is the selection procedure? Remember, with the selection procedure, you have 2 options there. You either use the first one or the second one. It depends on you. Which one do you understand? Don't try and mix them, because you might end up mixing at the same point. So you must just select one option that you need to follow. Then you must explain the meaning of screening. With the meaning of screening as part of the selection procedure, you must be able to explain that one. I think you do have resources to explain that one. And also you must move to the purpose of the interview. You've selected those employees, you've done a shortlist, which is a part of the recruitment procedure. Now you come to the interview. First thing for the interview, you know the purpose of the interview. And also you have 2 parts of the interview, meaning 2 sections where you have the interviewer and the interviewee. With the interviewer must have a role to play before the interview takes place and also during the interview takes place. Then the interviewer is only during. Remember, I said the role of the interviewer before. It's before for the interviewer, and for the interviewee, it is during. So you can't go wrong when you tabulate. What you need to do, you must tabulate them, so that you are able to understand which one is before, which one is during. Then also you must be able to elaborate on the meaning of an employment contract. When it comes to employment contract, you must know the meaning of the employment contract and also elaborate on the or what needs to be included, what makes the contract to be a legally binding document. For an example, with this one, name or outline the aspects that must be considered. It means aspects of the employment contract, and also outline the legal requirements of the employment contract. What makes the employment contract to be a legally binding document? Also, you must be able to analyze the employment contract from the given scenarios and make recommendations for improvement, meaning that you will be given a scenario. Then lastly, we must discuss the reasons for the termination of an employment contract. There are reasons. It's either you name, when you name it means you just give short ones, short answers here. Then when they want you to discuss, it means you need to elaborate on the employment contract, termination of the employment contract. Then let's come to the another activity, which is the induction. Elaborate on the meaning of induction and also the purpose of induction. With this one, colleagues, what you must also consider is that I'm fine with the meaning of the induction. It will be fine with that one. But with the purpose of induction and aspects that must be included in the induction, it means you need to be careful when you go through that one. And also the benefits. The content there is closely related. You need to check when I mean purpose. What do I mean with purpose? What content is under the purpose? It means you need to check that. What content is under the purpose, and also what content is under the benefits, the advantages of induction, and all what aspects. Remember, you will be having an induction program. What is it that you will be doing? You need to state or outline the aspects of that must be included in the induction program. Evaluate an induction program from given scenarios. You will be given scenarios where you need to be making also a recommendations. Then another one, which is the placement. With the placement, remember, you are done with the interviews. You have the employee has signed the employment contract. You need to place the employee. Don't confuse the placement with the selection. Placement is not the selection. You need to elaborate on e-placement. When you elaborate on a placement, I'll outline the placement procedure. Remember, a placement procedure is where you check the strengths of the employees so that you place the employee where the employee will effectively work, and also explain the importance of training or skills development in HR. That one is placement, is another activity of human resource. Then let's come to the salary determination. Salary determination, remember we have two methods, the piecemeal and the time rated, of which you need to differentiate between the two, and also explain the link between salary determination and the basic conditions of employment act. Remember, with the basic condition of employment act is one act that will guide the businesses on how to draw up the employment contract. And the salary determination is one of the aspects that are included in the employment contract. So that one is salary determination. Then fringe benefits, give examples of fringe benefits and also discuss the impact, that is the positive and also the negatives. Remember, don't write if they ask you the impact, don't write positive or advantage as a heading. Just zoom straight to the facts and write the facts. Then with the compulsory benefits, there are benefits that are compulsory, which is the UIF, which is a benefit that is required by law. And also there is legislation when a business is employed. They are using a legislation. It means that this legislation, these pieces of legislation are linked to the human resource activities. For an example, you have the Labor Relations Act. You also have the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. You also have the Skills Development Act, which are the ones that you need to focus on and how do they link. That one was part 2 of our lesson. We will proceed to the next one where we will be dealing with the other topics that are covered in paper 2. So remember to check where that you are answering which one, question 2 or question 3. If it's question 2, you will focus on the previous topics that I mentioned: legislation, business strategies, business sectors. And when you are focusing on question 3, it means you will be starting with the HR, that is the human resource, and also the quality of performance. So let's proceed to the next lesson where we will be dealing with the last part of the paper. Thank you very much.